Able to do?
Looks like Tasha's recording.
Oh, it is recording. There we go. All right, somebody's recording, so there you go. So anyway, welcome everybody to tonight's event, our YOLO International. We have people on from around the world. We have people, one person I see already from Australia. We have the UK up at like 2 in the morning here. We have Poland, we have Germany, we have everybody on from around the world. And we get together every Monday night as we model what Cheryl Cortese does. My name is Lauren Slocum-Lahav, National Marketing Director from Las Vegas, Nevada. And we've had a full day of great events and super excited to start the week with Joanna Daniels. And so Joanna is married to Trey Daniels and has 2 bonus children. Love that. Ricky and Ryan. She began her nutrition journey 21 years ago when she was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. She has since become a certified in natural therapies, hormone health, prenatal and health and pregnancy health. She's also a certified health educator for the last few years, has a PhD in naturopathy, and she has been inspiring healthy living for about 13 and a half years. So super excited, especially I love that hormonal health as we hit those new hormonal ages. So I don't know about, it's very exciting to hear everything that you have to share. I know that people love to get educated even more so they can help people understand why this is so important for them to make sure that every person from the womb to the tomb is juice plus. Background noise. So if you are not muted, if you could please mute yourself, that would be great. I think Phil, that might be you. You can mute yourself. I got a little bit of background noise, and Kimberly, if you can mute yourself as well.
Oh,
so
sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited to share with you. And Lauren, I've been to numerous of your talks and have went to numerous of your trainings and just absolutely adore you. And thank you, Tasha, for connecting with me and inviting me here. So very, very excited and just honored to be able to meet your team and to share with you all my journey. So what I'm going to be talking tonight about is gut health. And it's very, very important. And I'm sure that you all, since you're, in this community, know how important gut health is. And tonight we're going to cover that. Why is because it's very near and dear to my heart. As I said in the introduction, as Lauren said in the introduction, I was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome 21 years ago. It will actually be almost 22 years ago here, October. So anyways, and at the time I was living in Ohio. I live in San Diego right now, but I was living in Ohio, and I was diagnosed with IBS, and I was sick basically all my life. I had GI problems starting at 6 months of age. I almost died because I could not even digest my mom's breast milk. So anyway, so I had problems all my life. I was very sick, okay? I had scarlatina at 4, the measles at 6. I had shingles at 14, my tonsils taken out at 16. I had strep throat, 3 to 4 times a year. I was anemic, and I was tested for mono every single time I had a sore throat. And so, I was very sick growing up. However, I didn't break 100 pounds until after high school. I was an athlete. I did gymnastics. I did tennis, basketball. I was on the honor roll, and I was very thin. And so every time I go to the doctor, they would say, oh, there's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. And yet I lived at the doctor's office. And so finally at 19, I went to the doctor and I said, I've got to figure this out. Like what's wrong with me? And he said, after doing lots of fun tests, he finally said, you have IBS. And I said, well, what is that? And he said, we don't know. And I said, well, how did I get it? And they said, we don't know. I said, well, how do I get rid of it? We don't know. I was like, wow. So what do I do next? And he said, well, I'm going to write you a prescription for something that'll help you with the symptoms. Oh, and by the way, some of the side effects are pretty gnarly. And I was like, I'm 19. I'm a double major in college, and you want me to get on something that's going to have pretty gnarly side effects. And by the way, the drug that they prescribed me was taken off of the market 2 years later because of the harsh side effects. So anyway, so I said, you know what? I'm going to try to figure out how to get healthy. Now, mind you, I lived in Ohio, the Midwest. I don't know if anyone here is from the Midwest. I know we have people all over the world here. But my favorite vegetable was French cut style green beans from a can, doused in butter. Okay, that was me growing up. And so, my mom was a single parent of 4. I was the oldest. She didn't know what to do, So anyway, so I went on a mission to figure out how to be healthy. And I'll get into that here in just a minute. I'm going to share my screen here. So tonight we're going to be talking about gut health and what, that looks like. Okay. So hold on one second. Okay, so a lot of people think that this is what a healthy gut looks like. Okay, this is nice, I'm not gonna lie, but this does not mean healthy. Okay, I was a fitness model in my early 20s, and I had abs like this, and I still have nice abs, but I don't work out that much. But this is not the picture of healthy gut, because I had IBS in my early 20s. So anyways, I had to put this in here because how many of you I know summer is just about done, but how many of you are this person, when you eat healthy for one day and check to see if your summer body is ready yet? How many of us know someone like that, and are you one of them? So anyways, I just had to put that in there. She said, thank you. All right. So, a healthy gut, a healthy body is 30% gym and 70% diet, and just because we're showing abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. I'm sure the majority of you guys know that already. So just getting a little background noise. So if you could mute, that'd be awesome. Thanks. Okay, so the difference between these two people, a lot of you know this, you are what you eat. Look at, these two people. You eat a lot of junk food, 4 more times for diabetes, more arthritis, more sleep disorders. You can eat your way to a healthier lifestyle. And this is, I know a lot of you already know this, but this is just a good visual, because growing up, I ate a lot of this stuff. All right. And I don't know if you know this, but every year you get a whole new body. Okay. So you are what you eat. Every 35 days, your skin replaces itself. Your liver, about a month. Your body makes these new cells from the food that you eat. So, this is really important of what you eat. So, but tonight we're not going to focus in on the skinny. We're going to focus in on the healthy. Because as I said, skinny and those, washboard abs does not mean that you're healthy. Just to remind you, I was an athlete. I was in great shape, and yet I was sick all the time. So we all have heard, Hippocrates saying, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. We heard it over and over and over again. But did you know that he also said that all disease begins in the gut? And, some people don't really realize how important that is. And really, your overall health is impacted by your gut health. So this is very important. Here's some really good gut healthy foods. So 80% of your immune system is located in your digestive tract. A lot of people don't associate, their digestive tract with their immune system. And it is so important to really realize that your immune system comes from everything that you eat, and whether or not that gut is in good health or not. Also, what about your brain? So here it says, look, I know this sounds crazy, baby, but I feel like we have a real connection here. And they always say, trust your gut feelings. This is real stuff, okay? Your gut and your brain are actually connected. A lot of people, when I first told them this, they were like, that doesn't make sense. You know, it's way down there and my brain's up here, but no, it is so important. I remember when I had IBS and I would have an attack. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think straight. I mean, literally, I was in such a brain fog that I just wanted to sleep. I had no energy. I could not think. Don't even look at me and ask me a question. So the gut-brain connection, there is a huge connection between your gut health and clarity of thinking, depression, you know, being able to make decisions. What about your emotions? I mean, so many things are connected between your brain and your gut. So it is so important to definitely have that under control. Now, I'm also saying your gut and brain are connected, so that means your stress levels are also going to affect your gut as well. So it's kind of like, was the chicken or the egg first? You know what I mean? So it's very important to have them both balanced. So some of the eight worst packaged food ingredients you need to watch out for. So artificial sweeteners, you know, very, very important. Trans fats, vegetable oils. I don't know if y'all see like this whole, like, we fry in vegetable oil. And I'm like people are promoting that as it's a healthy alternative. And I'm like, no, it's not a healthy alternative. So please don't fall for that. You know, if they say that they fry in vegetable oils, then don't eat anything fried. I mean, I wouldn't encourage eating fried foods in the first place, but hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you, I eat them every once in a while. Okay, high fructose corn syrup, the GMOs, MSG. Oh my gosh. This stuff, MSG, is found in so many things. I would, you know, you could Google the different names for MSG or the different ingredients that actually contain MSG. Autolyzed yeast extract, you know, and you look at this and you're like, it doesn't say MSG. However, it has MSG in it. So you got to really become a label reader because the food industry will fit it in anywhere. So like I said, I would encourage you to do a Google for other names of MSG and additives that contain MSG. And unfortunately, I'm plant-based. Not unfortunately, I'm plant-based, but unfortunately, the things that are made for vegans or plant-based people that are in the freezer section in a box, a lot of it has MSG in it. And so you have to be really careful. So really eating out of a box, I would just make it like a treat or just definitely not a regular, thing that you're doing. All kinds of preservatives. I mean, just look on the box, and artificial flavorings. And I would encourage you to even look at artificial flavors, like some of the things that say natural flavors, and look at where these natural flavors actually come from, such as like natural flavoring for strawberries. Did you know it doesn't come from strawberries half the time? Just do a Google. It's pretty crazy. Okay, other 6 gut killers. Antibiotics. Okay, how many people have heard, oh, eat your yogurt? Oh, please don't. Okay, and if you do, make sure it's plant-based, not dairy-based, because you're kind of like, you're eating dairy, which causes inflammation, and to get your probiotics to help with the antibiotics, and it's just kind of, it doesn't work. So if you're going to do a coconut yogurt or something like that. Sugar, oh my gosh, this is everywhere. Sugar, the GMOs again. Gluten, a lot of people are trying to go gluten-free. I would just really stay away from a lot of processed foods. Tap water, oh, this is so discouraging sometimes. They put so much stuff in our tap water nowadays. And even with the well waters, you got to be careful to have your water tested. And then stress. Does anyone here have a stress-free life? Because if you do, please come and teach me how to do that, okay? And, you know, so dealing with stress, you're going to have stress in your life no matter what. But definitely trying to figure out ways to deal with the stress. That's going to be the biggest thing. You can have your fight or flight moments, you know, all of a sudden stress. But if you can teach your body how to de-stress quicker, it's going to make that cortisol go away quicker. So very, very important. And, you know, honestly, stress is one of the worst things for your immune system. And why is that? Well, because when you're stressed, it actually stops digestion. And your intestines, especially your small intestines, where you're going to get all of your nutrition from, in order to help your body to fight off a germ that you might have in your body at the time. But if you're under constant stress and it's affecting your digestion, then your body is not going to be getting the nutrition it needs to help. So if you can learn ways to stop the cortisol burst and to help your body to relax sooner, then the digestion will continue, and then you're going to be able to build your immune system up and keep your body strong. Okay, so just really encourage you. And antibiotics, the great thing is that there are a lot of natural herbal antibiotics out there nowadays that don't do as much damage to your body as the antibiotics that are prescribed. So definitely, you know, I would talk to a professional about that. Okay. All right. So other things that that really affect your gut microbiome, you know, all kinds of things. Your sleep. Okay, you know, we talk in this community, have you done a shred 10? Okay, and if you do a shred 10, are you doing the sleep part of it? I've had so many people say I can do everything else but the sleep part. And, you know, I just can't stress how important it is for you to get sleep. Your body needs it. And, you know, Dr. Sear has talked about what to do to get your body ready for that sleep. And that is, you know, shutting off that phone, shutting off TV. What I do is I turn my phone off and I plug it in across the room. So I'm not tempted to grab it and look at it. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, no, I cannot get rid of my phone. Well, I'm just telling you that it is going to affect your sleep. And to really just be, you know, try to get as much sleep as possible, you know, continually. But I understand there are people that have crazy lifestyles. Okay, so you have other things, you know, what is the nutrition sufficiency you got from your mom and your dad? That's that predisposition to things. You know, unfortunately, what you get from your mama, what you got from your papa is going to affect you, but your lifestyle changes can definitely, you know, alter that. Okay. So all kinds of different things, you know, your age, you know, as you do get older, there are some things that will happen, but here's the great thing is that if you take care of your body the right way, age is not going to be that big of a factor in anything, okay? I don't know if you guys have seen I think she's 89 years old and is a bodybuilder, and she went into the Guinness Book of World Records. So if you take care of your body, like, it will take care of you. So anyway, so here's a lot of things. You know, environmental exposures. I mean, we talk about this in Shred 10 a lot about, you know, our environment is not getting cleaner, unfortunately. Okay, so here's what happens. You have a healthy intestinal lining, and then the foods that we just saw, or the fact that you're under constant stress, or, you know, just you know, any of the stuff that causes inflammation right here, this stuff, inflammation. Well, unfortunately, that inflammation, oxidative stress, any of that is going to cause damage to the intestinal lining. Okay. And then unfortunately, that's going to cause leaky gut or any other GI problems. Okay. And so then unfortunately, that's going to affect your immune system. So we really need to stop this inflammation right here. Okay. Because this is the main evil right here, is that inflammation. And this was caused for me at a very young age. Obviously, at 6 months of age, I'm not eating processed foods. But what was my mom eating at the time? Okay. She was a smoker as well. And she didn't really have the healthiest diet. So if you know of pregnant mamas, or you're a mama yourself, what you eat is going to affect your baby's digestion. And it can cause inflammation, or it can cause healing. So it's so important what you eat. So this was my life, okay, for many years. This caused me to miss basketball games, caused me to miss going out with friends a lot. This was not a fun life. And if you know of anyone with IBS or any type of GI problems, you're basically a prisoner. You are. And it is not fun. You are very aware of where all the bathrooms are at. You really kind of have to depend on how you feel that day, as if you're going to go and do stuff. So it is really not fun to be in that lifestyle and, be in that constant pain. And so, all this stuff, unbalanced diet, severe stress, aging, antibiotics, all, pour into your gut, and it can cause diarrhea, allergies, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, cancer. Yes, cancer. So many people say that cancer starts in the colon. Honestly, you've got to make sure that it is extremely clean and it's healthy. Here's some other things, allergies. Who knows someone with allergies? All this stuff. Some of the stuff like varicose veins. Who knew that varicose veins was linked to GI problems? Think about it. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? So all this stuff can be linked to an unhealthy colon. That colon, that intestinal tract, that gut is so important. All right. So just a little over 70 million adults suffer from digestive problems. If you really thought about it right now, you probably know of 2, 3, 4, 5 people that have GI problems. And when I started doing this, this healthy living, inspiring healthy living, and really getting into nutrition, I was amazed at how many kiddos are constipated. Under the age of 5. And I was so saddened by that, because if they're starting that young of an age having GI problems, unfortunately, unless it gets changed, they are going to have a life full of health issues. And I just feel so bad for them. Okay. How many of you know this? You're like, okay, I'm going to start eating good. All right. Beginning of the year, beginning of the month, the beginning of a shred 10. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go for it, eat my salads, and yet something down there is saying you'd rather have cheeseburger and fries or whatever else. This is real. The struggle is real. Okay. I just want you to know. If you don't have the struggle is real. And it really is, because there are, the bacteria in your gut, you're either going to have good bacteria, or you're going to have that bacteria that's bad, and it actually tells your body, I want this, I want this, I want this. And so you've got to, unfortunately, override that. And it takes you, really being diligent. I encourage you, those shred 10s, I have seen so many people be able to break free from the bondage of those little micro bacteria in the gut telling them they want something. So just encourage you to check out that Shred 10. So foods to feed a healthy gut. We've got the probiotics, but a lot of people don't know about prebiotics. This is so important. Probiotics are bacteria, okay? I don't know if y'all know, but you have more bacteria in your body than you have cells, okay? So you're just a walking petri dish. If you didn't know that, now you know. So the good bacteria is those probiotics. And that bacteria, if you know bacteria, it's one-celled organism and it eats things. It's a living thing. It's an actual living thing. So every living thing needs food. And that is what a prebiotic is. So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm taking my probiotics and I'm going along and eating my cheese and my meat and my fried this and all that. And I'm like, why are you even taking a probiotic? Like, but because I need my good bacteria. I'm like, it's not, your probiotics are dying in your stomach. They're doing nothing for you because you don't have any food for them, because what you're eating is not food that your probiotics need. So this is some good prebiotics right here, okay? Raw garlic, raw leeks, onions, asparagus. These are just some things, okay? Some other good things, polenta. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's really good. Tempeh, artichokes, beans, bananas. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. People got on this kick like 7 years ago about how bananas cause weight and all that stuff. I'm like, whatever. So I love bananas. And here's the really cool thing is that a lot of people don't know that bananas are not digested in the stomach. They actually are able to pass through your stomach and they are digested in your intestine. Okay. It is an amazing, amazing fruit to feed the probiotics. So it's just amazing. And I think it's just really cool that it doesn't really get digested in the stomach. So the power of bananas. And so, the more you want to get them yellow, green are actually not bad for you. A lot of people think, oh, they've got to be green. I mean, yellow, they don't have to be. So very good for you. Okay, so all kinds of good stuff here. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to take vitamins, all this stuff. Now here, I'm going to show you this right now because, when I got diagnosed at 19 with IBS, now mind you, I lived in Ohio once again, and I now live in California where there's a health food store like every 5 miles. But in Ohio, 21 years ago, nobody knew what organic was. There wasn't a difference between organic and non-organic because really the GMOs didn't start to the early 90s. So people didn't even know what a GMO was for the most part. And so they just thought food was food. It was just grown the normal way. And also, healthy eating, like what was that? And so I went to the only health food store that I could find, which was not very big. And I just read all that I could read. And I took vitamins. Now, I was spending $300 to $400 a month on vitamins. And the reason being is because I wanted to make sure they were good quality because everything I read on vitamins was that they didn't all get absorbed. I mean, at the most, there was 50% absorption at the most. And if you had a GI problem, then you absorbed even less. And I was like, all right, well, great. So what did I do? I just doubled up on the ones, especially the water soluble, not the fat soluble ones. And I wanted to make sure that I got stuff that was good quality. Back then when I was starting, I didn't know the difference between medical journals, peer-reviewed medical journals, and what real research was. I had no clue. I was just trying to help my body and not take a prescription drug that caused all kinds of massive side effects. And so I was taking vitamins. I lived my life by if I had to take vitamins on an empty stomach, if I had to take them with food. I mean, it was just insane. And so when I really started to learn about vitamins, you know, I'm showing you this because this is somebody's x-ray of vitamins. They're not getting absorbed. And I'm sure most of you know, but this is a big problem. This can cause inflammation in the GI tract as well. And so you really think about it, these things are just sitting there in the GI, gathering bacteria underneath them and around them. So, I mean, supplements. So $300 to $400 a month on, you know, on supplements. And so this is not the way to go, obviously. And so that's when I about 13 and a half years ago, I learned about Juice Plus. I moved out here to California and to be with my husband. And I was at the gym working out because I was a gym rat back then, especially. And personal trainer said, "Hey, have you heard about Juice Plus?" And I thought I was trying to sell me another supplement. We're going to 24-hour fitness. And I was like, whatever. I'm like, I'm not taking your vitamins. I'm like, I have plenty. And anyway, so he introduced me to Juice Plus. And they had the shakes back then. And I don't know if any of you are gym rats and have tasted some of those protein powders out there. Oh, I mean, I know things have changed a lot, but some of them were just horrible. Oh, just like the most horrible flavored anything that I ever had, but I would just down them just to get the protein. So, but I was so excited when he introduced me to the Juice Plus shakes. And the really cool thing about the Juice Plus shakes, and I don't know if you all know, but they have prebiotics in them. Okay, this is really important, right? Remember, this is the food for, what is it? The probiotics, which are found in our capsules. So I was so excited, 13 and a half years ago. At the time, we only had the red and the green. And so I went home, I threw out all of my vitamins. I was like, I'm done with vitamins. The fact that I can get fruits and vegetables in a capsule, I was blown away. And now I'm going to tell you this too, that, Juice Plus was released, I think it was 1994. And I was diagnosed with IBS 2 years later. And I am so sad that I did not know about Juice Plus when I was 19 years old, that I had to wait 8 years till I learned about Juice Plus. 8 years. Because here's the thing is that when I got on Juice Plus, I took no supplements other than that. Now, it took me 5 months to feel anything. I didn't feel anything for 5 months. But here's the thing is I'd given vitamins and supplements 8 years of my life. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try Juice Plus. In 5 months, I felt something different. I had not found relief from vitamins and vitamin supplements. 5 months, I felt a little bit of relief. I was like, oh, I'm feeling like I'm not as bloated. And so the really cool thing is that I kept on with the Juice Plus. I did my shakes once a day. It's been my breakfast for 13 and a half years. I also, made some other changes as well. Really tried to make sure to get my sleep, tried to deal with stress differently. So I made other changes as well. But I was making those changes when I was taking the supplements too, okay? So the main thing that I changed was that I added Juice Plus. And I'm going to tell you this, that a year after starting on Juice Plus, even just the red and the green, my symptoms were gone, okay? And a year later, I started with the Vineyard because the Vineyard came out a year after I was on Juice Plus, and I grabbed that thing right up and I said, all right, this is great. And so, you know, I take these Juice Plus, and now I also take the Omega as well. Just started that back after conference. And it is so important. A lot of people say, well, I'll just take the capsules. You know, that's awesome. And if you you have a plant-based diet, then that's great. I have a plant-based diet and I still take the shakes because you want to make sure you're getting plenty of those prebiotics to feed those probiotics that you get naturally from the Juice Plus. And so, you know, I am so excited that I was introduced to Juice Plus, you know, 13 and a half years ago. But I'm just going to encourage you all that we need definitely more people to be excited and to go spread the word. Because if I had learned about Juice Plus 8 years prior, when I had been diagnosed with Juice Plus, it had already been out for 2 years. I'm celebrating 12 and a half years free of IBS, but I could have been celebrating 20 years free of IBS. And so just encourage you to be excited to really, not only for your own health, for prevention. There are so many other things that you got to do for your GI as well. GI problems are probably some of the hardest things to get rid of. It's about being consistent, and it's about really, I would encourage you guys to do it. If you have GI problems, do a shred 10 like every week. So anyway, so let me go out of here and stop my sharing here. Hold on a second. Sorry. So stop sharing. Okay. So I just appreciate you all, you know, being here, and so much, Tasha and Lauren. I so appreciate you for letting me share my story with your team. And I hope that...
Oh, of course, it's an honor. I love it. I mean, gut health is, as you shared some of those statistics, I mean, it's very scary, and it's really important for everybody to understand, you know, the importance that all disease starts and ends in the colon, right? And how important that gut health is. So amazing. Does anybody have any questions before we get off tonight's event? Or, you know, now you guys realize how important, I'm sure you know somebody with irritable bowel syndrome, and unfortunately, it's younger and younger kids with irritable bowel syndrome, right? Just because it's being overloaded on those antibiotics and everything else. So does anybody have any questions before we end? Anyone?
I have a
Awesome.
question.
Yes, yes.
I got a little bit confused when you said the probiotics. Did you say feeding the prebiotics? I wasn't quite sure what you meant by that.
So your prebiotics feed your probiotics. So prebiotics is what you find in your complete, and it comes from fiber-rich foods, such, you know, anything that has a lot of fiber in it. That is what actually feeds your probiotics. So you definitely want to make sure to get lots of good fiber in there. And the really cool thing is that the Juice Plus Complete is an amazing source for that.
Okay. And the prebiotics help fight the probiotics. Is that what you're saying?
Prebiotics is the food for the probiotics, basically.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's the food. Uh-huh.
So that's the way to describe it. Like prebiotics is like before.
Mm-hmm.
So pre is the food for the probiotics.
Yep.
So you need that fiber, and people don't have that fiber-rich diet anymore. And that's like what she's saying, the complete is so important because it's got that soluble and insoluble fiber in it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
So you really need the two, not one versus the other. But
correct. You need them together.
one carries the other. Okay. I was like, oh, I just always heard probiotics. Now I'm hearing prebiotics. What's good? What's bad?
Yeah, you need them both. You need them both to work together. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So that's why Juice Plus is so great, and the complete, because you're getting the prebiotics with the complete and the probiotics, right, with the red, the greens, and the purple, right?
With the capsules. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the capsules and the probiotics. The probiotics, and it is the Vineyard and the and the green, the green that have the probiotics in them. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, great question. It's like a
Thank you.
marriage together, made in heaven.
It is a marriage. Yeah, it's a marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Someone else had a question. Was there someone else? I saw somebody raise their hand.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hi, Joanna. It's Fabienne. Wonderful to be on the call today. And on the line, I don't know if she has a question, but on the phone line, I have my friend Melanie, and she kept texting me. They don't have internet yet after the hurricane, so she couldn't see your slide, but we kept communicating. And obviously, there is a lot of resonance in her family and herself. So, Melanie, do you have any questions? I don't know if she can hear us. Maybe she's muted. Anyway, I already wanted to thank you and on her behalf because she has been thanking me all along. So thank you.
Oh, great. I'm glad.
And one thing specifically, because I also didn't know about this marriage with the
Prebiotics
and the probiotics. So does it also mean that when you take the capsules, I know you take the shakes in the morning, but when you take the capsules, I have heard both scenarios that some people say, oh, you can take all the capsules together. It doesn't make a difference. And some split them through the day. Do you have recommendations about that?
So I split mine throughout the day. And so I take my red and my purple in the morning. And then I'll take green in the afternoon, and then I'll take a red and a purple at night. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I take 3 capsules of each. So I take extra juice plus. But here's the thing: is I tell everyone I'm used to that because I got into the habit of taking supplements for so many years that I was like, okay, I got to take it these times. But I always tell people, if you're not going to remember though, and you find yourself forgetting, just take them all at once because it's better in your body than on your counter. Mm-hmm. But I find value in splitting them up and getting bursts of antioxidants and nutrients throughout the day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I got a message. Melanie is still listening. She must be muted. I don't know how to unmute her. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you again for an amazing event. I think there's a lot of knowledge that people can share, and that's really what you want to do, everyone. Share this amazing knowledge and education with people and really get yourself, now that you're all educated, of why it's so important, again, to get the trio as well as the shake. So you're getting that free, and probiotics and feeding that and making that good gut health for yourself. So thank you again. And look forward to seeing you at conference.
Definitely. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.